So the world is obviously changing, right? A lot of people, they are moving abroad for better opportunities, maybe because in their country things aren't going that well, right? Or maybe people are just moving countries because they want better career opportunities, right? They go to another place for a better salary, right? Or self-development, whatnot. Now, there is a big problem that comes with that. And, those so-called expats, they are battling with harsh loneliness. And this is becoming a bigger and bigger and bigger problem, right? Now, I used to work at a language school, right? At a Cambridge school. And we used to have a lot of people, right, in Switzerland who also came by to learn German. And most of these people were expats. Now, these people, some of them had been living in Switzerland for around 15 years and they couldn't speak a single word of German. And how does that happen? I remember we used to have this woman who, by the way, never started, right? She never started learning German, but she couldn't even put a sentence together in German. And, when I was on the call with her, I told her, what is the actual reason? Like, why don't you start? Because her husband spoke German. She already had 2 children who were born and raised in Switzerland who spoke German. So she was basically the only person in her family that did not speak German. And then I remember once she told me, well, Nishad, I actually don't want to learn German. It doesn't interest me. My career is in English. I can speak to my family in English. Why do I need German? What I actually want is just to have friends here. And this is what she told me. And I told her that the best way to, meet new people here is to learn German, right? If she actually wants to build a life, it is to learn German. But a lot of people, they don't spend 15 years in a country, right? They don't have enough time to actually be fluent, like really, really fluent in the country that they're at. And a lot of expats, they don't even plan to learn the language because they don't plan on staying around 15 years. So I told her, right, okay, you don't want to learn German. Who are your friends? Oh, well, they are all also expats. They are all expats who I speak English with. And I told her, obviously, you're never going to make friends. Even English speakers who are locals, you will never be able to get to know them if you just stay inside of your own bubble, right? And this is a big problem that a lot of expats face. See, the problem is that they feel like they're already living in the country. They already have a couple of friends. But in most cases, they're only friends because they are both expats, if you get what I'm saying. So the sad part about this is that most of them, they don't even get to know the people that they actually want to hang around with, right? They don't even have real friendships because the friendships that I do have is based on the language, is based on the situation that they are both expats. And this is what I want to tell you too. It's that if you are an expat, right, you need to force yourself into those local circles. You need to force yourself to not hang around other expats if that's not what you want. If you want to hang around locals, you need to get to know the locals, right? Now, if you don't speak the language, that makes everything harder. Of course, like here on this channel, I have a lot of videos about languages and that type of thing. But a lot of people, as I said, they don't have the time or they don't plan on staying for that long to learn the language. So what a lot of people try is they use these apps, right? Like meetups.com, which are great apps because automatically, like if you go on events there, you can check out the app. You'll be surrounded with other people, right? Now, these might not be the right people that you want to, hang around with at first. But if you use these apps, if that is the gateway that you get to meet new people, use these apps, go on these events, and then take up the contact information, right? Now, whenever we talk about, creating new social circles, right? Creating new friendships, relationships, and all of that. If you don't know anyone, it's a numbers game, right? Because if you get to know as many people as you possibly can, that at some point you will stumble upon the right people. Now, expats, they are in a predicament because they feel like, well, I cannot meet new people, so I'm going to hang out with expats. Well, if I don't hang with expats, then I don't know anyone. Then I don't have any friends, right? So this predicament is basically the biggest issue that expats face when it comes to relationships, right? And so if you are an expat, if you're an expat listening to this, which, I work mostly with expats, by the way, then try to get on these apps, right? If you haven't done that before, but also try to get the contact information, not because you feel like this person might be your friend, but maybe because this person will introduce you to somebody who will actually be compatible with you and be your friend, right? This is a very short video, but this mindset of, or this limitation, right, of staying in your own bubble will be your downfall. This will make life so hard because you will be alone. Just like this woman. She never got out of that bubble with hanging with expats, and she always stayed in her comfort zone, right? Because even if she decided to learn German, if she had just stayed in her own bubble, right? And that goes for locals too. If you're in your hometown, you want to meet new people. If you just stay in your own bubble, right, where you just hang out with friends from school or friends from work or whatnot, then you will never be able to expand the horizon, expand the opportunities that you can get in life, and have new experiences. Now, by the way, I created a free online community. Link is in the description if you just want to connect with other people, right, who are on the same pathway as you are, who want to meet new people, create new social circles. And if you want to work with me one-on-one, you can book a totally free call, free of charge. Link is also in the description, right? So that's basically it. And always remember, blend in, stand out, and belong anywhere. Take care.